right, for you guys who've never used Google Draw or have not practiced a lot of drawing inside of slides, here's a digital version for the art project that you can do. I'm going to whip through first, and then I'll go back and show you some details. So the first one that you're supposed to do is find an image and then remove some segment of that image and create your own work. On paper, that would be cutting out parts of the image that you selected and then adding your own work into it. In this particular piece, I cut out the screen. So I cut this section. I didn't actually cut it out, I just covered it up. And then I added all this other stuff into it to create this effect. Basic directions are right here. Your second project was to find an image and incorporate it into an original piece. So to find something that you liked that inspired you and then put it somewhere new. In this case, it was this image right here. So I found this one, and then I built all the rest of this stuff to go with this image of the tree coming through a window and actually growing inside the house. Chairs, lamp, all that stuff was done using the draw tools inside of slides. And the last one was to find a simple image, and you're going to divide this image in half. If you do it digitally, you can pretty much only divide going this way across, so you divide it vertically, or you can divide it horizontally. In mine, you can see I divided it horizontally. I retraced the basketball, but then for the image, you're permitted to do some dramatic changing to it. In this case, I made it purple, turned it into a plant, put it in a pot, and pushed it on a shelf, and added the walls and the window and all that sort of stuff to it. So now the question is, how do you do this? So here you go. You see my image. I put my image over here, and right now everything's connected. Now what I did to cut or quote unquote trace this out is I came up here to my shape tool, or no, my line tool, and I used what's called the polyline. Now the way you use the polyline is you click and then you stretch, you click, stretch, etc. until you get it back to the beginning. And then it creates an image for you. This image, as you can see, now allows you to change its color and change its line or whatever it is you want to do with it. So that's how I did this backdrop. Then what I did is I decided I was going to build a car. You'll recognize that that car right there is one of the shapes that's over here. It's this guy. Boom. Oh, no, not that guy. Sorry. My bad. Wrong shape. That guy. So I put it over here. I kept it off the stage while I worked, and I'm going to adjust it. This little guys here allow you to adjust the way the object is shaped. So where the angles are going. So I wanted mine to be a little steeper. Then I needed some tires. So I'm going to grab some tires. And I wanted to change the color of my tires. So I'm going to go here. And I like the gradient for tires because it gives that more textured look. I want a little bit lighter though. Let's go with this guy. And then I'm going to put just a slightly light line for the front tire. And we need to resize. So I'm going to resize that tire, make it a little smaller. Control C, Control V, right there. Now, as you can see, my car over here has 4 tires on it. So I obviously need some more tires here. I'm going to make these ones a little darker because I'm going to move them into the back. And then I'm going to line them up where I want them approximately to be. And then you're going to right click on them and go to Order, Send all the way to the back. Again, Order, Send back. And now your tires are below your car. A little cockeyed, but we can adjust that. Oh, no, not that way. Now I want to change the color of my car. So I'm going to come back up here. I'm really into these gradients right now. So we're going to make a purple car this time. Too dark. I don't like it. Make a light purple car. I don't want the line, so I'm going to get rid of that. So now I have a car. but I don't want my car to fall apart when I go to move it, because if I just grab one piece, it falls apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all these shapes, make sure you get them all, and go up to Arrange and Group. Now it'll treat my car like one car, and I can move it anywhere I want. I can make it bigger or smaller, and I can duplicate it. And then I could change the color of just the car, just the body. I'll make it orange one. There we go. So that way I could put more cars in. I use the exact same tools right there for my buildings. I put a bunch of rectangles together, put in the gradient, grouped them, and then I just copied the groups. And here you see how it's flipped, and I simply clicked on the copied image and then told it to flip horizontally, and that flipped it the other way. And I added a river, and one of the things that you need to learn to do is start to layer things. So I put the car in before I put the background, before I put the river. So I had to keep telling the car, clicking on it and telling it to move forward. So I always would put something in, and then I would tell the car to move to the front. Put something else in, tell it to move to the front. That's how I kept things the way they were. So that's always order, send backwards or send forwards, depending on what you're trying to do. Okay. So that's how I did that one. Basic tools. This one again is the same idea. I made the background is just single bars. I grabbed that shape right there, got it the width and height I wanted it, selected the color scheme I wanted, got rid of the line, made it transparent, Control C, Control V, created the second panel, and changed its color just slightly. Then I grouped them together so that they would be treated like one image, and Control C, Control V, and I basically wallpapered the back. The whole time I was working, though, I had this piece shrunk and moved over off here, off of the stage, while I was building the background and adding everything. And again, it's that whole forward and backward thing. This is the actual piece right here that belonged to somebody else. These are all pieces that were added by me. This little guy right here is super easy to do. You just come up to your line tool, and in this case I use the scribble. So I'm going to scribble over here just to give an example. See how fat it is? It came out that fat because I had it originally set at 12 point. You can set it at 16. You can set it at 24, or you can go all the way down to 1. You can dash it, or whatever it is you're trying to. Oh, that would have been good for the road. Oh, well, whatever it is you're trying to do. So that's how I did that. This is the window frame. So you saw I used it in all 3 pieces, I think. And that is this guy. As you can see, he doesn't have a background behind him. So to make sure that I don't see through him, I just added a square. And it doesn't matter what size it is because you're going to send it to the back anyway. So you resize, click, order, send back. Fix that guy the way you want him to be. And then add your background. There you go. And group them to keep them all together. And then you can build inside. And the last thing I did that I was thinking I should show you. What was it? I don't remember. Whatever it was, it's gone now. So that's how you do that. Oh, the shelf. How did I do the shelf and the bowl and the leaves? So the shelf is super simple. It's this guy right here. So there's your little yellow guy. So you can make this smaller or larger. Hit your gradient tool, pick your color. There's your shelf. I would not recommend getting rid of the lines on this one because, well, actually it doesn't look too bad without the line. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Looks more realistic without the line. So that was the shelf. Resize it any way you want. The bowl is this guy, right? Oh, there it is. So when you look at the shapes, you got to consider all the different ways that they work. So just because it's sideways on the picture doesn't mean it has to stay that way. So we resize it like that, wrapped it around so it fit, changes color, get rid of its line, all the usual things. And the leaves were once again my scribble tool. So I just drew a leaf. At least I think it was my scribble tool. Nope, it wasn't my scribble tool. It was this other really awesome one called a curve connector. So this works similar to the other one. So you have to click and drag, but it allows you to do curves. And that was my leaf. And once again, you'll discover a lot of these drawings look better without their line. And then I just resized or shaped. And then when I wanted a different color one, I copied it, picked a different color, layered it the way I wanted it. Except I wanted the dark one on top. So I did my little order stunt again. And then I just connected them. And move them onto the board and rearrange them any way I want. All right. So that's pretty much it. Good luck and have fun.